Good morning students. In the last class, we have discussed about cell. What is cell? Which is who is the scientist who discovered cell, nucleus, protoplasm. Now, today we are going to see what is the structure of a cell. How it is made up of and its function. Each part and its function. Before starting the structure, let me ask you one question. Do you think all cells are same shape? Having same shape? No. All the cells are differently shaped. Why it is differently shaped? To perform a definite function. So, all cells are not of the same shape because to perform a definite function, they have acquired different shape. Let me tell you one example. The cell shape or the shape of a nerve cell. Nerves. What is the function of a nerve cell? To carry messages to the brain. So, its shape is elongated. That means to carry message. Like we know that when water pipes and all is there, but what is the shape of water pipes and all? It's elongated, no? Like that, nerve cells are elongated shaped cells. For what? For the conduction of what? Messages. Muscle cell. It's spindle shaped. Spindle shaped muscle cells. Okay, spindle shaped muscle cells. What is the need of spindle shape? What is the function of muscle cells actually? It is, for contraction and relaxation. What is the function of a muscle cells in our hand and all? For contraction, relaxation. Contracting, relaxing. Contraction and relaxation. So that's why it's acquiring a spindle shape. Okay. Now the blood cells, a disc shape. Why it is for flowing? Blood cells have to flow, carry oxygen and flow to different regions of our body. So it is round in shape for the easy flow. Okay. So like this, each cells have a definite shape related to its function. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. Now moving to the structure of a cell. We are going to study about the structure of a cell. What is the shape of a cell? It's not exactly round and all. If we are considering a cell, it has a nucleus at the center. Here and all a jelly-like part is there. It's called as cytoplasm and outermost covering is a cell membrane. Once again, the outermost covering called as cell membrane. Fluid part, it's called as cytoplasm. Central nucleus. So, these are the three major parts of a cell. Cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. Okay? A cell membrane, outermost part, the fluid part, cytoplasm and the dense internal core which is called as nucleus. First part we are going to study. That is what? Cell membrane. What is the function of cell membrane? The first function is that it gives a definite shape to the cell. What is that? It gives a definite shape to the cell. That is the first function. Because by this boundary only it acquires a definite shape. See, consider if there is no cell membrane, what will be the cell looking like? Only a nucleus and a fluid part outside without cell membrane. So, this cell membrane is giving it a definite shape and also it separates one cell from the other cell, right? It separates by the presence of the cell membrane like a wall, right? It separates one cell from the next cell. Is that clear? Okay. Next one. It allows only selected substances to enter and exit from the cell. What is that? It allows selected substances, those substances which are needed for the cell. That is selected substances. Okay? It allows selected substances to enter and to exit the cell. That is why a cell membrane is called as selectively permeable membrane. What is that? It's called as selectively permeable membrane. What is that? It's called as selectively permeable membrane. Why it is called selectively permeable membrane? Selectively, selected substances, permeable, permeability, you know what is the meaning, allowing, okay, and membrane. So, selectively permeable membrane. Cell membrane is otherwise known as selectively permeable membrane because it allows, yes, selected substance to enter and exit from the cell. Entry is allowed only to selected substances. Okay, is that clear? Now, cell membrane is otherwise known as plasma membrane. So, we got three names for cell membrane. Cell membrane, plasma membrane, selectively permeable membrane. Okay, now what are the different things that is entered or into the cell? Gaseous molecules, liquid substances, fluid part substances, solid substances in the form of fluid and all it is entering. So, gaseous molecules mainly it enters into the cell by diffusion. Okay, diffusion is the process by which CO2, O2 means what? Carbon dioxide, water and all enters. Oxygen and all enters. Now what about water molecules? The process is known as osmosis. The movement of water molecules in and out of the cell is called as osmosis. If it is gaseous molecules, this is diffusion. So, gaseous molecules and water molecules enters into the cell membrane by the process of diffusion and osmosis. Okay. So, I told you two functions are definite shape. They are called as selectively permeable membrane. Another characteristic feature of the plasma membrane or cell membrane is that they are flexible. They are flexible. Okay. Very flexible. And are made of substances called as lipids and proteins. They are made of substances called lipids and proteins. Okay, once again, cell membrane or plasma membrane have a definition, gives a definite shape called as selectively permeable membrane as it allows selected substances to pass through the membrane. Then flexible and made of substances. So, this cell membrane is made up of substances, lipids as well as proteins. Now, gaseous molecules enters by diffusion, water molecules by osmosis. Okay. So, in case of, I will tell you one example. In case of aquatic organisms, aquatic plants also, the entry of oxygen and all takes place by diffusion. Okay. Diffusion as well as osmosis. Organisms in water, it will be osmosis. Water molecules as they are entering. Okay, sorry. Its diffusion is gaseous molecules. Osmosis. By osmosis, water molecules enters into the, okay, exchange of gases takes place by that. In case of water. Land animals, no problem. Simpler animals, I told you. What is that? Diffusion. By simple diffusion is enough for the exchange of gases. Okay, whatever materials they have to exchange by diffusion, this will take place, mainly gaseous molecules. And in water, it is osmosis. Okay, so what all things we have discussed? Once again, I will repeat. Cell membrane. So, a cell is made up of three major components, which are they? Cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. Now, first one, cell membrane. What is cell membrane? The outermost covering of the cell is called as cell membrane. It is otherwise known as plasma membrane. It is called as selectively permeable membrane. So 3 names we got. Cell membrane, plasma membrane, selectively permeable membrane. Now what are the characteristic features? It gives a definite shape to the cell. Second one, it is called as selectively permeable membrane as it allows selected substances to pass through it. Third one, it is flexible. Fourth one, it's made up of substances called, lipids and proteins. And by water molecules, movement of water molecules is called as osmosis and gaseous molecules is called as diffusion. Okay? I hope this is clear to you all. Read your textbook clearly. Okay? That's all for today's class.